Everybody give Mr. Sergio Mora a hand.
Good evening. Thank you, William, for inviting me to come here to this wonderful event. The people that have spoken before me are truly inspiring. It takes a lot of courage to get up here and to talk about what you've been through and the positive changes that you've made in your life thanks to the Peaceful Solution. I'm running for the Texas State Board of Education. It's a 15-member board. The district I'm running for consists of 38 counties. It goes all the way from Zapata County to El Paso, all the way to Odessa. So I've been traveling around that state. When I first talked to William, we actually met through Facebook. He told me he was keeping up with everything I had been posting. I had the honor of receiving the endorsement of the El Paso Times, and he was congratulating me on it. And we got to talking, and I asked him about the program, about the Peaceful Solution. And he started talking to me about it, and I'm like, well, you know what, that sounds very familiar, because that's exactly what I've been saying campaigning while I've been out in these 38 counties. And then he started telling me a little bit more, and I said, you know what, that's exactly what I've been saying. And I said, you know what, William? Let me send you a speech I just gave yesterday to the El Paso Teachers Association, because I think you're preaching to the choir here in terms of what we're both trying to accomplish. And there was one line that he liked a lot, and that I've been saying a lot as well, and it comes from that speech that I gave. And it basically says, our schools should be a place that build character, curiosity, responsibility, and persistence. Schools should be institutions that promote generosity, integrity, kindness, and respect. They should be places that encourage initiative, ingenuity, compassion, creativity, and courage. And that, I think, comes straight out of those books that are sitting over there at that table tonight. And that is what I am trying to do by going to the Texas State Board of Education. When people ask me, but you're not an educator, your background's not in education, I'm like, well, I went through the educational system, and I was blessed to have great teachers that instilled all these traits in me, and blessed to have great parents that also valued the importance of an education and the importance of all these traits that I just told you about. Unfortunately, not every child is blessed to have those opportunities. And right now in Texas, and all over the country, we are in an educational system that every day values this less and less, and cares more and more about testing our kids, about making them take these pointless, repetitive, standardized tests that take over 45 days out of the school year just preparing for them. Our kids are stressed out. Our teachers are stressed out because their jobs depend on these tests. Our principals are stressed out. Everybody is stressed out. Teachers are teaching these kids the best methods on how to raise the scores on these tests, instead of teaching character, integrity, compassion, responsibility, and all that other stuff that they should be learning. Our school system has been perverted from its original intent. Our teachers who chose the career of teaching, because it's not a high-paying job, they chose it because they remember fondly about the positive experience that they had being a student and learning under good, positive teachers and role models. They have been denied their career. instead of being able to use what they learned, their creativity, to reach these kids, to talk to them, to make them discover what their passions are, to be able to pick a good career where they can be happy and therefore be productive members of society, they are drilling them on how to take these tests. And then 2 years ago, when we hit the recession that we just lived through, when the state of Texas was faced with a $28 billion shortfall, the administration, the legislature, our governor, decided that it was all right to cut $7 billion from our school system. So our school system, that more and more over the last 10 years has been forced to leave the subjects that our kids need in favor of drilling for this test, all of a sudden they had to cut music, arts, PE, pre-kindergarten, all these stuff that makes our kids well-rounded and prepared for the world. They've been trimming them down, so everything that's left is this standardized testing system that has been just totally detrimental. So what I want to do is I want to get to Austin, and I want to tell them, yes, there are problems in education. But the problems in education are not because our teachers are doing a bad job. It is because the government refuses to recognize and acknowledge that every kid is different and every kid learns differently, and that not every kid has the same background. A lot of our kids come from troubled homes, single-parent homes, and yet we force them into the same cookie-cutter methods of accountability that just sets them up for failure. What we need to do is we need to recognize that the best way to educate our kids is through proper character education, so that they recognize the consequences of their actions. We need to free the teachers to use their creativity and their passion to get to the kids. And we need to take advantage of the marvelous technology that we currently have available to us. Right now, there was a move in the State Board of Education where they wanted to take kids' calculators away. We have to come to the realization that kids now have these supercomputers in the palm of their hands. We have to stop treating them as a distraction. You can access any book that's ever been written in the history of mankind with a push of a button. What would we have given to be able to have these? What we need to do is we need to teach our kids how to use these to be able to go off on their own and explore and find what subjects they're interested in. So when they say the money is not there for education, that's a lie. They paid $1 billion to Pearson Publishing. That's the company that writes those standardized tests. They paid them $1 billion to come up with the tests, to come up with the preparation materials, to come up with everything involved in the standardized testing regime. They refuse to raise the taxes on oil and gas companies when they have made record profits. Right now, all you have to do is go pump gas to know that things are not fair on that aspect. They refuse to stop the subsidies and the tax breaks that they give to the financial corporations and the banks, the same ones that caused this great recession that we're in. Yet when it comes time to cut the budget, to trim the fat, they're like, well, let's cut funding for our schools. Let's make them more efficient. Our schools are not corporations. Our kids are not products. They're each special, unique individuals that have to be treated as such. So what I propose is that we get more curriculum based on what Peaceful Solutions is trying to do, building character, building responsibility. We need to free the teachers to do their job, to teach our kids. And we need to implement technology to complement the great efforts that our educators are doing. I think that's the way to fix our educational system, not more standardized testing. So I applaud the efforts of Peaceful Solution and Character Connection and all the great educators that are here in the room, all our public officials. And let's keep up the good work. Let's keep up the fight all over the state. Teachers, parents, kids, everybody's fed up. Everybody knows that the system is not working. There's a backlash building. All we have to do is speak up, and all we have to do is go vote. If communities like ours all voted the way we can, the way we're supposed to, we wouldn't have that corporate style leadership that we have currently in Austin, where it's better to scratch the backs of our lobbyists than to take care of our kids. So again, I applaud each and every one of you. Thank you for sticking through the program, but it was worth every minute of it. And it's refreshing to know that there's people that care so much and are working so hard. William, thank you. My hat goes off to you. Thank you. Have a good night.